I knew Garth for the whole time he was here, which was about 35 years. He was quite a very elderly man with arthritis.
He was one of the only ones that I can remember from day one. He was one of our long-term residents.
He was just absolutely adorable. He used to run around the yard, well, walk around the yard.
He's quite a strong character, physically strong. Yes, there he is. Garth M. M for mule.
Garth came to Staunton Manor Farm in 1975. He came in with a group of other equines. He was the only mule.
He had a problem with actually an iron deficiency, so he was quite anemic, and with our vet's advice we decided that the best thing to do, rather like they used to do with pregnant women in the old days, was give him stout.
We put out an appeal in the newspaper for some Guinness, and within a few weeks we had 50 cans. It seemed to touch on people's imagination that we had a mule that loved Guinness.
Garth had a best friend called Rosie. It was what we used to call his girlfriend.
Rosie and Garth used to just be, they were just an item really in a sense, although I think it was much more a love affair on Garth's side than Rosie's side.
Garth had no teeth, and he really didn't like dentists and people like this, so if you tried to do this with Garth, he'd have ran away from you.
We do get the odd days where he would be very cheeky.
He's been known to try and go and get into the shop if he thinks it means he can hide.
My grandson absolutely adores him, and it was a little bit traumatic when I had to phone up to say Garth was no longer with us.
Even now he's been gone for a few months, people are still coming in asking about him. He's just absolutely missed by everybody.
It makes me sad. I love him a lot, and he's the bestest donkey I've ever seen.
After Garth had died, we put a thing in the paper to say that he had died and asked if anybody had any personal memories about him. And this here is a letter that a little regular visitor sent us in. And it says, "Dear Garth, you were my best friend.
And I hope he has a nice life, a nice time in heaven."
It's very nice to know how much people thought about him, because I must admit I thought the world of him. And it's very nice to know that other people thought the same. He was very, very special, and he seemed to touch on a lot of people's imagination.